Diddy trial news updates. We got to talk about this, but before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian. I spill pop culture tea every single day, and if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. All right, so the day has arrived. Diddy's trial has started, and I'm going to be covering every step of the way, but I'm just going to tell you exactly how I'm going to be covering it, girl. We're going to go straight to the point. There's no filler, there's no bullshit, just straight to the point. All of the updates. Let's go. If you want some very, very up-to-date updates, I might post at very random times, but I'm going to post and give you guys every single update. Make sure you are subscribing. Now, listen. Diddy's the Diddy trial has started, and when I tell you that things are getting messy to the point where this is just day one and people are already in shock, trust and believe this is going to be one of the wildest rides, the wildest trial to ever hit Hollywood. So let's start with some major updates. Well, Diddy's trial has officially started, and let's just say it started off with a bang. So Diddy made a SEX worker pee in Cassie's during a freak-off. At least according to federal prosecutors who came out swinging in court. Opening statements are underway in Diddy's SEX trafficking trial in New York City, and the feds are laying out their case against the Bad Boy Records founder, making some graphic allegations. Assistant United States Attorney Emily Johnson is running point for the prosecution right now, and she told the jury Diddy forced Cassie to have intercourse with male escorts while he watched and recorded. The feds say Diddy called the parties with male escorts freak-offs, wild king nights, or hotel nights, and they say his staff organized transportation and lodging and set up rooms with lube and lighting, paying for SEX workers with cash and providing substances. Mind you, this is all in front of his family. All of his family, including his children and mother, arrived to the court. Prosecutors claim at one freak-off, Diddy made an escort release himself in Cassie's mouth. They say Diddy was directing every step of the parties, and he expected the women to appear like they were enjoying themselves. The feds say this all started when Cassie was just 19 years old, and they claim Diddy got violent with her. Prosecutors say Diddy flew into a rage when he found out she was seeing another man, brutally beating her, kicking her in the back, and flinging her around like a rag doll, and blackmailing her by threatening to release a video of her having intercourse with male escorts. Also, there was another incident in an SUV where he stomped on Cassie's face and then put her up in a hotel for a week to hide the injuries. Also, there's a lot of backlash with the jury selection because 8 men and 4 women have been chosen as jurors. And a lot of people are saying, oh, great, only 4 women. So we got to talk. This is going to be very, very hard. And I just can't imagine what these children are thinking. Like his children, his family, his mother is there having to hear all this. And of course, they think it's all fake and it's all lies. But I think we all kind of know the truth, right? Allegedly. Diddy trial news update part 4. So looks like Diddy is turning to God because while all of these crazy allegations are being said in court, he is basically just grabbing on to his Bible. Diddy looks like he's leaning on his faith as he goes on federal trial for SEX trafficking because he was reading from the Holy Bible in court. The Bad Boys Records founder had a Bible at his table Monday and was reading scriptures before opening statements from the prosecution and his defense team, according to folks in the courtroom. Right after he was seen with his Bible, the opening statements were opening statementing, okay? For example, the opening statement was that Cassie was allegedly forced to have a male escort in her Girl, what? Listen, God loves all his children, but I also heard God don't do ugly. And Diddy, girl, you are ugly, okay? Diddy trial news update part 5. So Diddy's defense says don't judge him for his sexual preferences. So Diddy's defense team is trying to play this off as just swinger parties. Diddy's defense attorney is handling the opening salvo for the music mogul's side, and she says the case is all about love, jealousy, money, and Diddy's private SEX life, scoffing at the idea that Diddy was engaging in SEX trafficking and racketeering conspiracy as the feds claim. Girago says the government has no business poking around Diddy's bedroom habits, and she says he was violent and had a temper, but that's not what he's on trial for. Diddy's defense says there absolutely was DV with Cassie, but he's not charged with DV, and says he will take accountability for some of his actions as the trial unfolds. Diddy's defense says he had a toxic relationship with Cassie. They loved each other but got violent due to infidelity and jealousy. The Cassie beating video was also addressed. Garagos says that what Diddy did is indefensible, but it's not evidence of SEX trafficking. She says they were fighting over phone and the secrets of infidelity. Girl! So basically, there was no racketeering conspiracy. He was paying different men for their time and experience, just like adult film actors. And he was just paying money for time and experience. So basically, they're trying to downplay everything. Right, so now we have some latest court updates that is happening right now as we speak. The Combs family has kept their eyes on the jury. The jury has caused quite the commotion because 8 men were selected, 4 women, and a lot of people believe that that is unfair and that might work to Diddy's defense, which is absolutely bonkers if you're gonna support him. Victims 2 and 4 have already been referred to as Jane and Mia. Okay. Also, there's a full-on circus. Okay, there are actual Diddy supporters who slept overnight outside the court. The fact that Diddy has supporters is mind-blowing to me. But you know what, girl? At the end of the day, they're probably just extras that are being paid. Defense loses bid to keep some evidence out of testimony. Before lunch began, Combs' attorney spoke to the judge about objections they had regarding evidence that the prosecution wanted to submit into evidence along with its witnesses. Comey told the judge the witness is a security guard who worked at the Intercontinental Hotel who would testify to incident reports and personal observations following an incident between Combs and victim 1, which is Cassie. Combs' attorney, Brian Steele, argued that the witness had no personal knowledge of the incident and includes speculation. Steele told the judge that the documents have prejudicial elements and doesn't believe they are trustworthy. Of course they don't, girl. The judge ruled against Combs and his team, and it said as long as the government establishes a foundation, the exhibits. But the judge ruled against Combs' attorneys and said that as long as the government establishes a foundation, the exhibits would be allowed into evidence, okay? Now the trial has resumed after the lunch break. It's a hotel security guard first witness to take the stand, okay? The government called the first witness of its case LAPD officer Israel Flores, who once worked in hotel security. He was on duty the day Combs was caught on camera attacking then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Now, a former guard says Combs offered him a sack of money not to talk about Cassie's hotel incident. Flores testified that he was on shift that day at the Intercontinental Hotel in March 2016, where surveillance video showed Combs dragging and kicking Cassie in the hallway. The incident occurred around 11 a.m., and Flores was called to a woman in distress on the 6th floor. He testified that he recognized Combs, who was in a towel, but did not recognize Cassie at the time. Quote, she was scared. Flores testified, quote, she was in the corner, hood on, covered up. I couldn't see her face. She was pretty much in the corner. On the floor was a destroyed flower vase. Flores said that Combs told him they were arguing at the time. He noticed Cassie trying to walk away and get her phone, but Combs told her she wasn't going to leave. The former hotel guard said he put his body in the doorway and stood for a few minutes until Cassie left the room. Quote, I started to leave and Combs called for me, Flores said. He had a sack of money and he threw it at me and said, don't tell anyone. What a fucking prick. Also, Combs tried to take phones of hotel security but was pinned to the wall, former guard testifies. After describing the sack of money Combs offered him as a bribe, Flores has, quote, bribe. Flores then testified that Combs attempted to take the phones of hotel security guards. He came to the door, closed the door behind me. He grabbed the phone my colleague was holding because he thought he was being recorded. He eventually gave the phone back. Quote, we said we were not recording you and de-escalated the situation. Flores then said that Combs tried to grab his phone and he pinned Combs to the wall. One thing that is absolutely so, like, it must be so intense for the family because his children, daughters, 18-year-old daughters, and mother and sister are there. They just saw the assault video played at trial. Videos from the March 5th, 2016 incident where Combs was seen beating Cassie in the hallway of Intercontinental Hotel were officially submitted into evidence. Prosecutors approached Flores with a thumb drive with the former hotel guard said contained 5 videos from that morning. He was asked to describe the videos as he watched them on the witness stand. Flores described the videos, said Cassie comes down the hall and puts down a bag before Combs comes up behind her in a towel and slams her in the head and drag her on the floor, starts to drag her back to the room. In another video of the same hallway, Flores said Combs barrels down the hall toward Cassie and tries to grab the phone from her. Hotel guard took cell phone video after Cassie incident to show his wife. Flores testified that he took some cell phone videos after responding to the hotel incident between Cassie and Combs. He told the court that he made a video because he didn't think his wife would believe him if he went home and told her what happened. One video showed him mentioning to Cassie to go into the room, and another includes him picking up a phone and discussing the incident with his supervisor. The former hotel guard testified that he hadn't reviewed videos of the assault before writing the incident report. Flores said he didn't call the police because Cassie wanted to leave and no one was pressing charges. So that is the latest updates as to right now. It is 12:01 Pacific Standard Time. I'm giving you guys a live update, so make sure you are tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. My content looks very different in other videos. We have a lot of fun. We are a mess, but this is straight to the point. I told you guys that when I do the Diddy trial, we're not going to do any fluff, any kind of thing. We're going to go straight to the point. This is already hard enough, for all the DB survivors out there who have to, hear these things. So I don't want to just, make this longer than it has to. I just kind of want to rip it off as a band-aid. But I'm going to be as gentle and as understanding as possible because I too am a DB survivor and trust and believe that this is very triggering. But I feel like this is very important to also put out there. Any and every single person out there who is a victim of DV deserves justice. You deserve to be heard, you deserve to have justice, and you deserve to be vindicated. You know the word, bitch. You deserve to fucking win, okay? So don't let nobody think you are unworthy of justice because you are, and nobody deserves to lay a hand on you. I love you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah. Bye.